out of 5, so starting to pick up the minutes more and more, and that's likely just with the transfer. The more you get in the system, the more comfortable you're going to be, and the more comfortable Coach Figger is going to be able to pick you. Austin Peay winning the tip, and Antoine Butler starts. Antoine, one of the first freshmen since Zach Lotta to get the starting point guard positions last season, and already Terry Taylor bullying down low.
That was just a little bit too easy right there for the Governors. Applewhite was trying to go high side, but he let the inside too much, so Terry Taylor had the opportunity in the lane for that layup.
Not much of a shot blocking presence for South Carolina State, only 3 on the season. They're going to have to get that up. They've got some tall individuals, but at the end of the day, they just don't have that lethal rim protector.
And that rim protector is really vital for your team, because when you drive into the basket, if you're Austin Peay, sometimes you will have to worry about their rim protector saying, oh, he's in the area, so I might have to do a tough contested floater instead of just trying to go up for a layup.
Here at the top of the key is Zach Sellers out of Cheraw, South Carolina. A lot of these guys are from the South Carolina area. Not many of them are out of state. Only 1 or 2, rather, are from outside the state of South Carolina. Driving inside is our player to watch, Applewhite. Can't get it to go, but you already see what he wants to do, get really down low. Here's Henson for the Governors. South Carolina State playing man, and already starting to trap Terry Taylor.
And that led to that turnover right there. Simmons just doing a great job reading the defense.
Simmons driving inside, can't get the finish to go, and Terry Taylor to the board. Good looks for South Carolina State getting down low, and it's same with Austin Peay. They don't really have a true rim protector either. Here's Abayev. Can't get the early shot to go, gets his own board, and in his foul.
Abayev just right there got his offensive rebound. He just threw up a flare somewhat on that second chance opportunity, but Riley bumped him, and that's why that foul was called.
Eli Abayev in his first real true season for the Governors. Started just about every game this season. At about 28 minutes per game as he goes to the foul line for the first shot. Another net. And there's Austin Peay's head coach in his 3rd year, Matt Figger, and you'd have to think one of the best kind of opportunities he has to win the OVC outright and finally get into that coveted NCAA madness.
You will always want, as a head coach, to get into that NCAA tournament. That's the bragging rights, especially when you have that automatic bid for your conference tournament.
OVC did very well in the tournament last year as a turnover on Simmons as he walks.
Simmons right there, he just ran right into a crowd. 2 Governor defenders was there. He had nowhere to go, so he tried to just throw up a shot, but he started shuffling his feet immediately.
Bit of a trap here at the half court, just to try to throw Austin Peay out of their rhythm. Abayev on the right block. Bullying inside, can't get it to go, gets his own board. Finally grabbing the rebound is Riley.
Another second chance opportunity for the Governors, but this time it didn't fall for him.
Here's Sellers, the transfer out of Savannah State. Austin Peay defense swarming. South Carolina State yet to get a point on the board, and they kick it back out.
Don't know if Sellers know how much time is left on the clock.
Floater is corralled by Evan Henson.
Sellers got a little bit too late on the shot clock just then and had to force up another bad shot for the Bulldogs.
Butler, nice feed inside to Abayev. And a timeout called South Carolina State.
South Carolina State just right there. Terry Taylor was somewhat of a savior throughout that game because he was making tough buckets throughout it, no matter what. Whenever the Governors needed it most, they just depended on Terry Taylor, and Terry Taylor delivered.
And I'm sure Coach Figger would say, we hope he doesn't have to have that type of night to get us back into it, but that's exactly what the doctor ordered, and Terry knocks the ball out.
Taylor right there, he was anticipating that pass. He really wanted that steal. Just instead got deflected out of bounds. Another opportunity. Let's see, can the Bulldogs capitalize on this moment?
Is there something you'd like to see them do to kind of get going here offensively at all?
Not settling for the bad shots. Once again, 10 seconds on the shot clock, and you're just trying now to go into your plays, which led to that turnover.
Swarming defense from Butler, and here's Reginald G. Driving its eye off the glass. And he's gone down holding that right knee of his. 4-on-5 here for South Carolina State. Can't capitalize. Nabayev gets the board and we get a timeout.
And G is on the sideline, the baseline here, immediately grabbing his knee, which isn't a good sighting at all.
As soon as he went down, he started holding it, and no one's gone out to get him. I'm not sure where the trainer is. The only person walking out on the floor is Coach Figger. And both teams, a couple Austin Peay players walking out, but a fantastic move by G to get down there. But as soon as he landed,
he knew immediately.
Right knee, yeah.
Because G, he went somewhat wild on the layup. He was trying to absorb the contact. He went up strong. He got the layup to fall. It's just when he was coming down, he came down awkwardly.
G back on his feet, not able to put much pressure, if anything at all, back under. And there is South Carolina State's head coach, Murray Garvin. And his 6th or 7th season kind of started out early, midway through, and now he's in his 6th full season. As you still taking a look at G, starting to put a little more pressure on it, a better sign, but still just kind of the way he went down, it didn't look good.
Didn't look good, and he's going straight back to the locker room, was also not a good sighting for the Governors.
His first minutes in the game was G, and he exits with the injury. Here comes Austin Peay back to kind of restore some life into the building. They're starting to get some momentum going. Could that help South Carolina State? Terry tried to find Nabayev down low, and it's stolen. Applewhite, good pump fake, gets it to go.
And that just little pump fake got the defense biting, and as soon as he saw that, he stopped and popped with that baby 8-footer.
Sellers guarding Butler for the Bulldogs. Turnovers is a good way to get your offense going, Marcus. Adams' free throw line shot is off the mark. Here comes Etienne. Ball bounces out of bounds, and it'll stay here. Alec Woodard checks in for the Governors, but we're going to have a media timeout. 8-2 is your score with 15:45. Stick around with us as you're watching live.
Before the game, and he said that it feels really different going into tonight. He said that he's really happy to be home, and that there are a couple different things. He said after playing here and now coaching the opposite team, it feels good, but he's excited. Steven also said that he knows Figure's style of play, so we'll see what happens. Looks like we have an interesting matchup to get back into. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Isabella. Can't say that it's working as of yet right now, but a long game to go. Three-pointer is good.
Etienne right there. Got a good shot and a good look right there. Late contest by the Governors, and got that 3 to fall.
That gets him right on the board. Makes it a one-possession game early on. Had struggle getting going, but here they are. Adams driving inside and a blocking foul.
Right there,
Fields
he could not believe it. Just as you stated, he was mad. He really wanted that charging call. Couldn't really tell from this angle that he was there in time. But Jordan Adams will be getting 2 free throws.
As they say, the toughest call in basketball is that block and charge. And here comes Adams to the line for 2 shots. First one's good. Shooting 71% from the charity strike this season.
And Jordan Adams is also back-to-back Freshman of the Week, OVC Freshman of the Week, after he scored 25 points against Vandy, even though they came out with a loss.
Really picked up the slack for what Terry couldn't do offensively until kind of towards the end of that game, but that just shows he can play with just about any competition. That's SEC talent, and he showed probably his best of the season. Wow, Terry Taylor. Swinging out, nice feed inside to Applewhite.
Look at the swarming defense by the Governors right now, and Applewhite just had to force up that fadeaway jumper.
The fall-away shot was easily corralled by Abayev, and here comes Butler on the break. One thing you won't see Terry Taylor do is over dribble. If it's not there, he'll kick it back out, as you saw there, as he's on the post now.
And now the Bulldogs are immediately doubling Terry Taylor every time he touches it in the post.
Three-pointer was off the mark, but we're going to get a loose ball foul on Abayev.
Abayev right there just did a little elbow nudge
Just
on field, and it was just enough for the referees to see it, and that loose ball foul was called on him.
Paez and also Sita Conte checks in for Antoine Butler. Let's see who's checking in for, and it's Abayev, and we do see Reginald G back on the bench. I mean, that's about best case scenario from the initial look. That's about the last thing I thought was going to come out of it.
Only a few minutes and G is back on the bench, which is a really good sighting, because at first you would fear for that ACL, MCL area, but looks like everything is all right.
The only thing changed is he's got a little sleeve on his right knee, if that does anything at all. Sellers driving inside, can't get the bounce off the glass, and make it an offensive foul rather on Fields. That's his second in quick succession. He's going to check out.
Fields has had a tough time really with his fouls. He leads the team in fouls with now 14 fouls for the season.
You can see why. He got two within 15, 20 seconds of each other. He's not happy with it. Paez, the backup point guard, and Marcus, to me, he's been one of the really good bright spots of this freshman class. Not the highest ranked player coming in, but just the tenacity he offers. Conte, wild shot, and Terry gets his offensive rebound and one.
Somehow Terry Taylor just gets that offensive rebound when there was three Bulldogs in the area. He gets it, he goes up strong. It's a lot of slapping, a lot of hands in there. Doesn't matter, he goes up with his strong left hand, gets the and one to fall. Now he's going for one more free throw.
Terry rocking the baby after, that's his trademark, him, and gets that off Russell Westbrook. And I got to say, that's got to be so disheartening. for me down here, it's disheartening. Free throw can't get it to go. That's been one of the negatives for Terry this season is his free throw shooting. Right around 60% on the season. He's a mid 70% shooter the past 2 years.
Good defense right there by Conte on that block. It's deflected out of bounds, but it still will be Governor's basketball.
Etienne, his shot was blocked. Conte a little taller than the other defender he had, making his first three of the night. They got a new player checking in, Rasan Edwards for South Carolina State. Getting his first minutes of the afternoon, only averages about 13 minutes per game. Played quite a lot against Vanderbilt.
The Bulldogs are now in their full court trap. And an acrobatic finish by Sita Conte.
Hung in the air, seemed like forever. He'll get a chance to make it the old-fashioned way at the foul line.
Conte, he just thought that he was going to go up on the left side, but he saw the defender, as this replay shows. I'm going to just go right up the middle because that defender's right there. He can block that. I'm going to go up the middle. He got the foul and won.
Changed hands about 2 or 3 times in air. Gets it to go.
That's that shooter's touch roll on that free throw make. Now the Governors come out and pressing their own.
And they nearly get a turnover. As the ball's on the floor.
It will be a turnover.
Ball's everywhere right now. There it goes. Exciting for the fans as Terry drives inside, and it's a charge.
And it looked like Jordan Adams, he was waiting on that lob to get the Governors fans just routed up and hyped, because that was a lob waiting to happen if Terry actually saw.
Tell you what, a pinball machine on the other end of the court, and Terry has a real chance to go up double digits as Austin Peay's up 9. Something we haven't seen a lot of this season from the Governors is just a full court press this early, but Coach Figure's seen a look that he's like. We got a missing shoe for Jordan Adams now.
A lot of stuff is happening right now in the Dunn Center.
Etienne for 3. Off the mark, but Applewhite gets the board, and here's Etienne again. Is it Halloween in the Dunn Center? We got shoes flying, balls bouncing everywhere.
If I'm the Bulldogs right now, I have to attack Adams because he knows he only has one shoot. But you settle Edwards for a three.
Here comes Edwards with the missed shot, and here's Paez looking to kind of control things down a little bit here. Drives inside and turns it over. Got in the air and didn't have anywhere to go with it. And turns it over, but he gets his first turnover again. Slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, rushing a lot right now between both teams. There's a little flop right there by Edwards on that screen by Terry Taylor. Let's see which team settle down and just make a bucket, because you're moving a little bit too fast for each coach liking, but Terry Taylor, he's going to do it himself.
Dante finds Taylor with a really good pass down low. Terry doing most of his work down low, and that's not a good sign if you're the Bulldogs.
Now Adams has a shoe on, so you can't attack Adams because he only has one shoe.
Austin Peay on an 8-0 run right now. Bulldogs need to cut into it pretty quick. Applewhite finally gets it to go and fouled. Boy, is that big to him.
Applewhite is just saying, I'm going to take it myself. I'm going to try to lean on this team, have this team lean on me, excuse me. I'm going to go hard, be aggressive, as we stated in the pregame show, and he got that and one.
We got a media timeout. A look at to our keys to the game, brought to you by Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Designate before you celebrate, because fans don't let fans drive drunk.
And one of the first keys to the game for Austin Peay is just to crash the glass. The Governors haven't done their best in these first 5 games crashing the glass. They're only leading 38 to 36 average-wise as Applewhite knocks down his free throw to cut into this lead somewhat. But the Governors are going to have to just crash the glass. Something that Applewhite does really well is offensive rebounds. Second chance opportunities are really big for the Bulldogs if they have the opportunity, but the Governors are going to have to crash the glass no matter what.
Woodard for 3. Gets it to go.
My next key to the game was trust your brothers. Last game at Southeastern Louisiana, Terry Taylor did most of the work making pivotal shots. But if Terry Taylor isn't going, who else will step up for the Governors? Excuse me. You're going to have to trust your brothers. Know that if I do my assignment, I have to trust that my teammate will go out and do his assignment as well. And for the other side, South Carolina State, there's a little trap right there in the corner.
Baez's three-pointer's off the mark. Abaya fighting for that loose ball. Ball's going to go out of bounds. It's going to stay for the Governors.
For South Carolina State, something that has been somewhat of a problem early on in the season is an emphasis on D. Coach Murray Garvin, he knew beforehand, before the season started, that they were going to have a lot of offensive power. And we stated earlier that there wasn't a lot of rim protection. So you have to key in on defense. You got to have to play stout defense, because right now for the season, your scoring margin is -11. How can you win games with a -11 scoring margin?
Really good move by Abaya, spinning around and getting that off the glass. Right now, Austin Peay up 11. Just another slow start from South Carolina State. That's got to be a worry for them, because that's 2 straight games.
And that brings up another great point to my other key to the game for South Carolina State is just to stay poised. Because even if you're down 11, no matter what, if you stay poised, just know that shots can fall within any moment here. As G comes down again on his knee. Yeah, he's going to have to come out once again.
It's a worry.
Yeah.
It's the same
same
knee of his. That's always the worry when you come back immediately, quite literally after an injury like that, but he's going to head back to the locker room.
He might be done for the rest of the game. Because that was just another time where he just jumped up. As you see the replay here, Kennard just drives to the basket. D does a good job defending it, but when he comes down, instant pain.
Respect to him coming back.
Just trying to fight through it.
Right. Butler checked in for Paez after Coach Vigor wasn't happy how quick he was getting over the timeline. Woodard, foul line shot, but he is fouled. Let's see who this one's on, because Tashombe Riley is beside himself, and it's going to be on Kennard.
Both of the Bulldogs was wondering who was that foul on. I couldn't tell if it was a slap on the wrist or whatnot. But that's not my call. That's the ref's call.
Right. Woodard going to the foul line for hopefully points 4 and 5 for him. Makes it the first time around. Take a look at this replay. Not a whole
not a lot of contact.
I think we're in agreement with the Bulldogs players on that end. Woodard gets the second to go. He's got 5 points. A good little lift off the bench, Marcus.
Because Woodard only averages 2 points this season.
That's what you're talking about. You would like for Terry not to have superhuman type games, to have you win games, and nights like tonight where you get the bench involved is a dream. Here's Simmons with Jordan Adams guarding him. A floater gets the roll.
Just a nice floater right there by Simmons, where the defense couldn't read it, but you have to get back on defense.
Here's Silvera, the tall individual that he is at 7 foot. He's going to be such a weapon come conference time. Not many guys are 7 foot, obviously, but he's going to be a weapon for the Austin Peay. Silvera gets the board. And we're going to have a jump ball, and it's going to go the opposite way from the looks of it as the possession arrow is pointing for the Bulldogs.
The Governors are attacking the offensive glass here on this evening. Already have, looks like that, 4 or 5 offensive rebounds now early with 8 minutes just left in this first half. If you're the Bulldogs, you got to box out. You can't give the Governors second chance opportunities when you're already down.
The more opportunities, more than likely, the more points. Breaking news, but Austin Peay up 11 with 8 minutes left in this first quarter. The Bulldogs have had moments. Austin Peay has had moments, and we heard that slap from over here as Applewhite is going to go to the line after Woodard fouls him.
Woodard fouls Applewhite, and then gave the referee a little elbow just then. The referee had to take one to the stomach real quick, but Applewhite just still being aggressive. No matter what the score is, he's just going to take it to the basket no matter what. And he's also a very efficient shooter.
Applewhite going to the line for the second time tonight. Gets the first to go. At that size, to shoot the foul line is the way he does, and get a look at this replay, an easy call, one of the easier ones that the referees are going to make tonight.
We could definitely hear that smack all the way over here, so you might have do a little flail afterwards, but that smack, that's going to be an easy call for a ref.
Applewhite shooting 76% from the free throw line tonight. He is 2 of 2 tonight. Make it 3.
A high-octane free throw shot right there by Applewhite. Kisses the twine.
Butler, the starting point guard, in for Austin Peay, looking to run the offense here.
Dangerous pass right there by Butler. Luckily, it wasn't stolen.
Riley thought the same as he screams, and we might. Little acting skills, but he gets it to go as Ian Kennard, he gets the offensive foul.
That was too much acting right there by Kennard. Yes, he could take off his underway on Monday Night Football.
Company man Patton over here, letting everybody know as play has resumed.
But you got to tune in here to Austin Peay basketball.
Watch us first, and then you can catch the highlights a little later on. Once again, the pressuring defense for Austin Peay, that's been a staple tonight. The Bulldogs have seen a heavy dose of that.
It's forcing the Bulldogs to go in their plays. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. That could have been a potential travel right there, but a foul was called first. Looks like that's going to be on Antoine Butler.
Yep. It is indeed on Butler. That's only his first foul, so no real foul trouble, and Coach Figger giving a good talking to the referee on that one.
And on that replay you just saw, Butler really didn't have to spike down in that moment because Jordan Adams was in help. That's another emphasis where you got to trust your brothers. You got to make sure you see your teammate is over there, but there's another turnover is there.
Offensive foul, yeah.
But in that instance with Butler on that foul, if you see Adams coming over with the help, let him contest that shot because he has a better chance of blocking the shot than you swiping down and potentially getting a steal. But in instance, that led to that foul.
Absolutely, and Sellers being credited by that foul. That's his second. Got to be a little careful here. Don't want to get that third foul going into the half. Hope you'll find yourself a nice seat next to the head coach. Stolen. Butler with the turnover. That's got to be an offensive foul. No, it's not. It's a block.
Kennard just threw that chicken wing right there.
Kennard, he gave what God gave him, that arm of his.
Coach Figure is not happy on the sideline.
But Butler, that's it. He turned the ball over, so he's going to go out.
And Butler on that try to entry pass, it was a tough angle. He threw it in the middle of the defense instead of trying to go on the opposite side. And then now he's trying to force an offensive foul, but it didn't go in his favor, so now he picks up his third.
1-on-1 foul shot here. Gets the first to go. Kennard out of Gray Collegiate Academy in Maine. We see that again. Butler had his back turned, it almost seemed like, but.
And you can see in that replay figure immediately, it's like, come get him out.
Somebody get him. And Pius checks in. The point guard play tonight for Austin Peay hasn't been as steady as it's been throughout the season so far.
And a quick 6-0 run by the Bulldogs of South Carolina State.
A game of runs, and South Carolina State is on one now. Cut it down to single digits. Only down 7. Pius, that's three-pointer. Yes! Pius for 3.
Pius right there. That 3 right there was caused by miscommunication on the Bulldogs defense. Didn't know which man to get, so both players went after Conte, left Pius wide open. What a pass.
A jam to slam it home is Riley. Pius was only 1 of 6 from the 3-ball mark coming into this one. He shot that one with a lot of confidence.
Simmons with that no-look dime on the baseline cut.
Taylor, step back 3-pointer, long. Fighting for it. Looks like it's going to stay here. This game's starting to pick up. Both teams looking kind of clicking a little bit better now. So you see this nice dish again. That no look that you were saying, Marcus, really nice.
It got the defense biting, and as soon as defense bit, Riley backdoor cut for a nice slam.
Pius pick and roll with Taylor. Finds Taylor on that right block. A wild shot, nearly got it to go, but he was looking for that foul.
The Governors right now trying to do as many acrobatic layups as possible in this first half.
You don't get extra points for those. Edwards looking for something, nearly found Riley, but it's looked like it hit an Austin Peay player, but it's going to go the other way.
Couldn't really tell if it went off of Riley or it went off of Conte in that moment, but it was a nice backdoor cut. Could have been another lob to Riley, but tried to do a bounce pass in a tough angle that led to that turnover.
Etienne checks in for Kennard. Etienne out of Atlanta, Georgia, and we get a foul called on Edwards.
Edwards reached just the slightest and caused that bump. Referees was not playing on that one. He immediately called that foul.
To get a look at Murray Garvin and Edwards discussing how he's not happy with that.
He wasn't happy because there was no point really in reaching.
Pius going to the line for the first time tonight. Gets the first to go.
Because now the Governors are in the bonus.
With a lot of time left.
Ticky-tack foul, 5:22 left. You can't. It's an ill-advised foul right there.
South Carolina State making 4 out of their last 5 field goals, so they're starting to click on the offensive end after a slow start. Nearly turned it over. Trying to go fast was Riley, and Simmons just wasn't ready for it.
The Governors' full court defense is swarming.
Yeah.
This Bulldogs offense.
Applewhite collects out of bounds.
This defense is doing so much as a snatchback that had Terry Taylor falling to his almost backside, but this full court trap defense is doing so well. Now another block.
Terry making up for that, and Jordan Adams the Euro.
Euro with the layup. Nice finish by Jordan Adams.
Taylor made up for that little slippage he had just to make sure no one saw it. With authority, he threw that one out.
Riley again. Terry Taylor once again with another block.
Three-pointer Simmons.
But Simmons answers back to quiet this crowd.
I was saying Austin Peay don't have an elite rim protector. That's pretty elite.
And Terry Taylor actually leads the team in blocks. That's now his ninth for the season.
Energy in this building is starting to rise a little bit with that defensive effort from Terry. Paez, tough shot and a late foul.
I don't know, Pat, about that one. If he's going to call that foul, he should have called it a little bit earlier. It looks like he's almost waiting for it just to see whether he's going to make it or miss it.
South Carolina State players looking up at the board. I don't think they're going to get a look at this one. As we see the block by Terry Taylor. This one, to me, that's one of the better ones, because if he doesn't get that one, he's on a poster.
That was a potential dunk, but Terry Taylor not being afraid in that instance, saying that I know he's going to try to go up strong. I'm going to go up and try to get this block no matter what. Yeah, I might have got crossed early on, but I'm going to respond with 2 blocks.
It's just me, but I think he made up for that little slippage that he had from
Definitely.
Applewhite. I'm sure he's told Applewhite just that. Paez, 1 of 2 from the foul line. Austin Peay up 10 as Edwards gets it across half court. Step back from Riley, a long 2-point shot.
Just a nice jumper by Riley. Over the smaller defender, he's like, I'm just going to rise up no matter what, because he can't contest this.
Conte got trapped, and Riley tried to save it. He goes up the bench.
The confidence is rising now for this Bulldogs team.
The tempo starting
Game, but it really feels like it's a 1-point game. How back and forth both teams are playing now.
Austin Peay up 8 with the ball here. Henson, a 3-pointer. Long, very long, and Edwards gets the board.
A good look for the Governors, just didn't fall.
Riley finds Edwards, and Paez has found some extended minutes here at the point position. Antoine Butler not the best of nights, and Paez taking advantage. Applewhite driving inside and blocked, but a foul is called on Evan Henson.
Severa right there. As soon as Severa fell, Applewhite was like, oh, I have to drop to the basket because I know I have an opportunity to get a high percentage look instead of settling for a jumper.
Applewhite has been perfect at the foul line, shot 3 of 3. The leading scorer for South Carolina State, along with Simmons at 7. He's got a chance to make it 8 and 9 here. First one hits nothing but net. Take a look at the foul here.
Looked like Severa stepped on somebody's foot and fell.
Yep.
Applewhite just immediately was like, oh yeah, let's go to the basket.
Give credit to South Carolina State. They fought right back into this one. Only down 6 and a lot of time left to go in until we go into the half. They'd love to have a run here. First it starts on the defensive end. Etienne guarding Adams, and a foul is called. And it's on Riley, and he's been surprised by about every foul call tonight.
Riley immediately said to the ref, on who? Like,
right.
He was confused, like, what was that foul at? I'm just trying to force him not to get the ball. I guess he was wrapping himself around Terry Taylor, so now Terry Taylor will be shooting free throws.
Terry. We're in the double bonus, so Applewhite thought he was about to grab a rebound to his stats, but Terry's going to shoot another one. And if you do look at Riley's right knee, he's got a brace on it, and at South Alabama he had quite a serious knee injury that kind of left him out for the season. Then when he came back, just didn't have the playing time, so he's kind of transferred over to South Carolina State, and he's getting some meaningful minutes. And some good minutes here today versus Austin Peay. Terry Taylor guarding Applewhite. Applewhite with the screen. Henson got the start tonight for Austin Peay. Not a lot of minutes after that. And a wild pass by Edwards is going to sail out of bounds.
And Applewhite was just telling Edwards, just go up with that one. It was a tough angle to try to get that pass. And once Applewhite found out that he was actually getting the pass, it was too late. He hit him and went out of bounds.
A bad pass, Terry Taylor, and we get an offensive foul. That's really bailed out Terry on that one. Paez was cutting to Taylor, and Terry threw it away from him.
Just a miscommunication. Couldn't really tell what that offensive foul was called on for Edwards. But another turnover for the Bulldogs, and these turnovers have been piling up.
Both teams with 9 on the game. South Carolina State, for the most part, loses the turnover margin most nights they've played today. And it's another turnover, and we get a foul called on Paez. Give credit to Riley. He was really forcing Taylor, kind of stopping the ball to him. Paez is going to be called with the foul, but he's going to stick in. As Butler got yanked and he stood up trying to convince his coach to bring him back in. Riley to the line.
Sam DeVault, the freshman, checks into the game for Tavera.
Riley's shot is good.
Just as on this replay, just a bad pass by Paez. Paez knew it was a bad pass. He was like, I'm going to try to get this steal. Before, actually, it was a pretty good foul because that would have been a layup on the other side, forcing Riley to make both free throws.
Riley 80% from the foul line. Gets that shooter's touch. He shushes the band on the way out of the court. Played with some energy, and that's exactly what the Bulldogs needed.
Armani Hill checked into the game for Riley after he made that free throw.
Armani only played in 3 games this season. Make it his 4th as he checks in for the first time tonight. Waiting a long time to get into the offense. Paez.
Looked like he got hit in his eye on the drive. That's why he couldn't somewhat. And he fell to the ground.
Had a wide open layup as we'll take a look at the replay again. Look at his face.
Oh
yeah, he definitely. Armani Hill with a poke check right in the eye there. Wouldn't be surprised if they take a look at it. Just as any time a player is grabbing his face, more than likely a referee is going to take a look at the scores table.
They're trying to make sure he isn't bleeding as well. That's why you see the trainers over there looking at Paez right now.
A tough kid, and that's one thing you can say about Paez. He'll play with just about any heart
He's
got
bleeding
left in it. And it looks like his cheek. It's not even his eye, but got poked in the eye, and he's bleeding on his left cheek. See how good his one eye vision is here shooting the foul line shot.
No, that eye is watering up pretty bad right now. That's why he's blinking so many times.
We'll get 2 chances at it. Paez out of Sunrise Christian Academy, a part of the Basketball Beyond Borders project. That's something you're starting to see. It's not just Americans playing this game anymore, Marcus. It's not only European, but now starting to push into the South American region. Paez 2 for 2 with one eye. That's impressive.
Paez now has 8 points. That's actually his season high. So Paez is doing a really good job with Antoine Butler sitting on the bench.
Saw the anniversary of MJ closing his eyes for that free throw shot, and I gotta say, that's right up there with it, a poked eye. Here's Applewhite. Taylor has really started to up his defensive game, especially last season, as he alters that shot from Edwards, and it's going the other way.
Edwards had an opportunity to get the rebound, but it looked like he got deflected out, but it was the last touch on Edwards, so it will be Governor's basketball.
1.5 minutes remaining. One thing the Bulldogs don't want is for Austin Peay to go on a little bit of a run here. Only down 7, and that's manageable.
It's still anybody's ball game with a lot of time left.
Exactly. Jordan Adams with the ball. Be sure to stick with us as we go to the break, as we'll get a halftime interview from Coach Midlick, or from Coach Figger rather. Those are usually pretty good. As Henson's shot is off the mark, and here come the Bulldogs.
Coach Figger was talking to Henson, like, why did you take that shot? That was not the best shot for your team, and you just settle for it.
Last thing you want to do is to settle, especially with a player like Terry Taylor on the court as well.
Not a lot of spacing right now for the Bulldogs.
5 seconds on the shot clock. Etienne, shot goes missing, and DeVault gets his first rebound of the day. Woodard, three-pointer. Rattles out, and Terry gets the board. Driving up, that's too easy. Too easy for Terry Taylor, his 9th point. At 10 seconds remaining, or separating game and shot clock, so Austin Peay's going to get the last shot of the half. Edwards needs a good shot here. Good backdoor cut inside, a strong move. Kennard, and Coach Figger calls a timeout as he's shaking his head.
And right now, the Bulldogs are recognized.
Lead down to 7, but Austin Peay's looking to extend it here with 16 seconds remaining in the first half. Woodard dribbles over the timeline, under 10 seconds remaining. This can't be the one they're wanting. DeVault, a three-pointer, a crowded one. Down out Woodard. We'll have a chance to speak with the head coach for South Carolina State.
I did speak with Coach Garvin on his overall comments on the first half, and he said it was a physical one and that it was ugly. He said because Austin Peay forces ugly play, he said that his team did decent to counter that, but both teams did fall into deep foul trouble. He also recalled the other night when Austin Peay played Southeastern Louisiana, and Southeastern Louisiana gave up only 12 points in the second half, and that they are trying not to be that team tonight. He said that they just need to play out these next 20 minutes. Back to you guys.
That is surely correct, and especially when you're already down 10, to only score 12 points in a half would be utter disaster for the Bulldogs. As the referees huddling up, as they so much like to do usually. Ball's getting ready to check in. Henson, Adams, Abayev, and Antoine Butler coming out of the half here. Adams got up in the air, and Terry gets the second chance bucket.
Nobody bounced out Terry Taylor in that moment. He just one-handed tip back. Easy 2 points for Terry Taylor.
Applewhite here with Abayev guarding. And it's almost like at this point you need to start trading baskets for Austin Peay if you can't get stops if you're the Bulldogs. Applewhite with that left hand, really good move, fading away.
Good spin move on Abayev and faded away on a tough shot. Applewhite is getting it done here on this evening.
Henson driving inside, teardrop floater off the mark, but Terry bounces it out for Butler.
Another second chance opportunity for the Governors.
Coach Figger not so happy with how quickly they're getting into their offense, and a foul's going to be called on the floor. Looks like it's going to be on Rayshawn Neal out of Greenville, South Carolina. It's only his first of the game. Neal came into this one averaging about 5 starts this season. Getting some good minutes here today. Henson, a three-pointer, yes! Evan Henson, the transfer from South Carolina, gets it to go.
Henson right there just settled into his shot and just took it because the defense was late. Light contest, knocked it down.
A quick start for Austin Peay here in the second half. And Applewhite, 2 straight buckets for him now.
Applewhite now has 13 points, another spin move and layup.
Abayev Didn't think about that three-pointer very long at all. Only shot one this season. Adams floating inside with the right hand.
The Governors are just attacking the glass no matter what in this second half.
Blocked. Adams doing it on both ends of the floor. Applewhite kicks it out to Neal off the glass. Very pretty.
Neal with a tough angle right there. Kisses it off the glass to make it fall.
Neal, 5'10", 205. That might be before a meal. Find Butler at the top of the key now. Taylor at the free throw line. Teardrop Florida. That's a tough shot. Some tough shots again.
High arcing tear drop right there by Terry Taylor. I don't think the defense was prepared for that as well.
Butler shadowing Neal. See if they can't get Applewhite. 2 straight back buckets to start. Kennard. Good job at the pump fake, getting the defender past him. And gets it to go.
The defender jumped on his feet. Kennard just like, I gotta take this 15-footer.
Nearly goes out of bounds as Butler fumbles it.
Figure was already ready. His anger was building up.
Three-pointer, yes, he's on fire. 2 in a row.
Patton, I would have to say this game is getting out of hand really quickly if you're the Bulldogs.
After Coach Figure wasn't happy with Henson's three-pointer, he's made 2 straight here. Neal, another tough shot, and that was not going to hit anything. Adams on the break. Alley-oop! Oh, it goes.
It just seems like the luck is on their side right now with baskets-wise, but Jordan Adams is on the other side of the court, down.
Rolled that ankle, and we get a foul called. Didn't see how Adams kind of landed there. But we are going to have an under 16 media timeout. Austin Peay putting together a run up.
Bulldogs, you have to go out, be aggressive. If you can get to the free throw line, get that contact, force the referees to make the call, because you have to trim it to this lead before it extends out to a 20-point lead and it's out of your margin.
Etienne at the line, short. His first foul line shot is short.
Etienne knew immediately that was short. He was just hoping that he was going to get that shooter so to fall in, but it didn't work for him.
His second one is good. Makes him 1 of 1, or 1 of 2 rather, from the free throw line tonight. South Carolina State showing a kind of a pressure look here.
More of like a 2-2-1 trap right now for the Bulldogs.
Here's Butler, a veteran, one of the veteran players, even though he's a sophomore. One of 2 returning players that actually played on the roster last season. Here he is, kicks it out to Henson. Pump fake mid-range is good.
Pump fake, 1 dribble pull up by Henson. It was just a nice shot, nice form, and Henson just knocked it down.
This season coming into it, he was only 3 of 17 from the field. And right now, this is the best basketball he's played this season. 8 points already. 3 of 6 shooting.
Simmons thought about the shot just then and there, but he decided not to take it.
Here's Riley. Provided good minutes in the first half. Didn't that time, but gets it to go as the second chance points for Kennard. Henson with the hot hand here. Let's see if they go back to him. Terry looks to set a screen. Butler, a long three-pointer, yes! Stepped right into it and rattled it home.
That's a just big shot right there by Antoine Butler. Wasn't probably the best high percentage shot, but he rattled it in.
When it rains, it pours for Austin Peay. They are up 18. Simmons responds well.
Dangerous pass by Terry Taylor right there on the inbound. Simmons could have got that steal.
Woodard finds DeVault as he hit the three-pointer going into the half. Here's Woodard. Can't get it to go, but Henson the offensive board and a foul.
Patton, that's the first miss of this second half for the Governors.
It all started with that Sam DeVault three-pointer. Austin Peay up 16, 58-42. And last time out versus Vanderbilt for South Carolina State is kind of where they self-destructed and couldn't find an answer. Applewhite for me is going to be the player to answer. Finding Henson on the right corner. Henson stepped into another three-pointer, rattled home. Here's Butler. Second chance points really starting to become an issue.
Now that is 11 offensive rebounds for the Governors.
Terrific pass inside from Henson. Terry battling and rocks the baby home.
And a steal right there. Oh, it won't be a steal. It'll be out of bounds, so it will be Bulldogs basketball. But Terry Taylor he saw the double team. He spent into the double team, just split it. It's like, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go up strong. I'm going to go to the rack, and I'm going to get these 2 points.
Such a patient player in the block. Doesn't panic. Knows that 5-second count. And that time rattles it home. Terry with 17.
17 points. It seemed like a quiet 17, but he's been so efficient here on this evening. And a steal.
Antoine Butler on the fast break and one.
Antoine Butler gets that opportunity after the steal. It was like, I have a clear lane. I'm going to just go up strong. That defender has no chance at that. I'm going to just lay it up and lay it in. He got the foul. Took a hard hit, but he's going for one more.
Crashed into the Wendy's padding. Someone from the studio was talking about Wendy's, and there it is. Butler, high off the glass, and bashes it into it. But strong is exactly the word I'd give there. Butler looking to complete the three-point play. Cannot do it, and we get a foul called.
It's a loose ball foul called on Terry Taylor.
Yeah, Terry.
And Patton, I would just like to say, at halftime it was a 10-point lead. And just like that, it's a 20-point lead for the Governors.
A game of runs, and right now Austin Peay is on one heck of a one right now. 9 of 11 of their last field goals made. The whistles are starting to rack up now as Woodard fouled Simmons.
A little hip check right there by Woodard, putting his hand on Simmons' hip. Referees, you're going to call that foul. You got to give him a little space. I know you want to be aggressive, because Coach Ficker likes that aggressiveness by his players, but you just can't be too reckless with the aggressive.
Paez checks in for Butler after a really good first start to the second half. Applewhite poked away. Taylor teed up. Teed up one of the bench players, and it was Armani Hill.
So Armani Hill, he was mad on the play because he felt like it should have been a foul right there on Terry Taylor. And the referees immediately teed him up. No hesitation at that.
No, I thought Terry stepped out, but instead of stepping out, Armani Hill gets a technical on the bench. That's got to be a bad feeling. A lonely feeling as everybody's looking at you. As Paez goes to the line for the technical shot. Rattles home the first, and here a two-shot one here. Let's take a look at this one.
And as you see, Armani Hill just standing up, yelling at the ref, saying that's a foul. It's a fair argument right there, but the referees didn't like that. He just stood up, yelling at him, and he teed him up with the quickness.
I think it was more just the standing up as we get a timeout called for South Carolina State, just to kind of reel them back in. It's really been an issue.
The second chance points has been a major problem. 10 offensive rebounds now, 15 second chance points off of those offensive rebounds. Right now, you got to communicate. You have to find somebody and box out. It can't just be one player. It can't just be Applewhite. It has to be all 5 guys keying in, trying to box out a Governor.
Pressuring defense there by Riley. Adams takes a screen from Taylor. A tough shot. No good in the defensive rebound. Simmons attacking. Finding inside to Riley off the glass.
Riley was just running the lane right there, going down mainstream, and Simmons just found him wide open due to that penetration.
Taylor, step back, mid-range, pure.
That's one of his go-to moves. Terry Taylor has that little between-the-leg step back, settling for a jumper. And that was just automatic.
Pump fake with the three-pointer. Does a nice move for two, and that's another one for Zellers.
Zellers right there, he took the contact. It wasn't enough, but it made it a little bit tougher for him trying to shoot that floater.
Here's Terry at the top of the key once again. Now Paez. And we get an offensive foul. Sam DeVault called with the moving foul there, and we're going to send it to another break. Austin Peay up 20 with 11:42 remaining in this one. Stick around as we got those shots he usually makes them, Marcus. Eleven and a half minutes remaining in this one. Fields down low block. Terry Taylor is third. At some point, don't go down there no more.
Just the presence of Terry Taylor might be disrupting some of the Bulldogs' offense.
Jordan Adams, an open three.
The dribble handoff by Terry Taylor to Jordan Adams, which was wide open off another miscommunication by the Bulldogs. Now Adams just knocked down that three.
Terry got trapped, didn't force it, passed it off to his teammate. That was one of your keys, trusting your guys. Tough shot, Abayev grabs the board.
Dangerous pass, outlet pass to Butler.
Good feed inside, Terry with the right.
And then that moment just then, Terry Taylor was out on the left side, but notice that two guys was coming at him on the left side. But he had a mismatch on the right side. So he said, instead of going up left, I'm going to take this one dribble to the right to where the taller defender won't have a chance at it and lay it in.
Another altered shot by Terry, using that rim as kind of protection from the block. Ball falls out of bounds, and Mateus Silveira checks in for Abayev.
Wooded right there was going for the Euro step, but before he could actually take his first step, he lost the ball and it fell out of bounds.
Silveira, 3 minutes on the game, only averages about 7.5, and got quite a bit of playing time in the preseason. There's a reason why he's not getting the minutes he was getting early on, or is it just kind of how great Abayev is playing on both ends?
The Governors are looking more for out one end, and they want to move a little bit. Silveira might not be the best defender laterally, so that's why he might have not gotten a lot of playing time, but Applewhite with the tip back.
Silveira checked in for Taylor. He'll check out on the bench on 21 points. Nearly stolen was the Bulldogs, but Adam gets it right back. Crowd wanted him to shoot. He's only shot one this season, and you'd have to think desperation time for him to shoot a three. Finding Woodard. Great basketball here and travel. The extra pass and tried to use the pump fake, but didn't put the dribble down, and you see that getting called more and more in today's game.
It was the right play for Woodard to make the extra pass. Good job by Butler pump faking. You just got to put the ball down first.
A couple years ago, they would have let you get away with that, but referees are calling that more and more, kind of as they should, because it gives the offensive player an unfair advantage. Tariq Simmons over to Rayshawn Neal. Neal. A wild play there, and it's blocked. It's going to stay here as Silveira was sitting out of bounds as he touched that one.
Neal just drove to the basket on the two tallest players.
He's not the tallest guy himself either.
One of the shortest players on the court now. Don't know if that was the best idea, but it's going to be a shot clock violation, just good defense by the Governors.
Applewhite tried to use the pump fake, and with a guy who's 7 feet tall, he doesn't have to jump, so there's no point in jumping on the pump fake. Butler trying to break this pressure from the Bulldogs, and he does. A trap here.
You need an outlet. There we go.
Abayev driving inside, off the glass too hard, and Applewhite gets the rebound. That'll be his 4th of the game.
Butler was asking for somebody to come help him out, waiting on Eli Abayev, but he took his sweet time there.
Has a lot of running around for just a simple outlet. Gonna get a foul. It looked like that could have been a jump ball, but Jordan Adams tells Woodard to cut it out, especially with the score the way it is. No point in getting a pointless foul or technical here, arguing. Simmons with the inbound. As Kennard at the top of the key does, rattles it home. They needed that one.
A big three by Kennard, who's actually a pretty efficient three-point shooter, so the Governors have to step out and defend those.
A long pass breaking the press. Adams, they're saying a travel. Had that Euro step. I believe see a look at that replay if he took more than 3 steps.
It was looked like an NBA Euro step right there. By
James Harden Euro step that's being trademarked now. Right now, Austin Peay up 19 points. Got as much as 22 early in. South Carolina State hasn't budged much in this second half. Neal driving inside and one.
Neal just decided, I'm going to just drive it in the basket. Butler didn't have the best angle to cut him off, so Neal just lowered his shoulders, rammed into Butler.
Neal looking to make it an 8-0 run at the free throw line as he was fouled before the media timeout. If you've just joined us, Austin Peay and South Carolina State both sitting at 2-3 on the season. This is a big game as it's part of the Vanderbilt Invitational, and this is the last game Austin Peay has in this invitational type round robin. South Carolina State does have Tulsa. We'll take a look at that a little later on in the broadcast, but a big early season non-conference game. Terry at the top of the key. Finds Butler. Good defense. Better job here in the second half. And a late foul. Only 2 seconds remaining in the shot clock.
A bailout foul right there. They called it on Kennard. He went up straight, but he might have got a little slap on the wrist right there on Terry Taylor. So Terry Taylor will be shooting 2 free throws.
Terry Taylor shooting 2 shots here. First one's good. It's only 2 of 4 from the free throw line as we see a look at this replay. There's been a couple of those kind of ticky-tack fouls, but they've called them all night, to be fair, both ways. Neal has really been the man in this second half. He's got 5 points, both of them being in this second half. Right off the foot of Applewhite. And Woodard dives on the floor, can't get it to go though. Etienne, a 3-pointer, high arcing, very short, and Woodard gets the rebound. Knocked his first one down in the first half, but hasn't hit since.
But shooters continue to shoot the ball no matter what. If you're 1 for 9, great shooters just leave it in the back of their mind. I'm going to still take the shot.
Taylor driving inside. It's not going to count. It's going to be on the floor. As that foul's going to be called on Kennard out of Livermore Falls, Maine. That's a team 6th foul, so Austin Peay's already in the bonus, the 1-and-1 bonus for the next foul. So any more fouls will go to the line for Austin Peay. As a team, they're shooting from 70% from the foul line. Any coach is going to want that higher, but pretty good for early season action. Jordan Adams, his second 3 of the night.
that second chance opportunity, something that we had talked about earlier. The Governors are crashing the glass, and Jordan Adams had a wide open three after the Bulldogs went into a zone.
A foul. Adams 1 of 2 from the three-point line. The earlier one was a long two. That gives him 10 points. So it's Terry Taylor at 23, and then Paez and Adams at 10. Just about everyone's gotten involved. Has been a real bright spot for the Governors. Simmons gets it to go. Both teams are going to be in the bonus the rest of the way.
And now Simmons has double digits in this game with 10 points.
10 points and 3 assists. Played 23 minutes of this one. And Marcus, while Terry just inbounded it, right now Terry is averaging quite a lot of minutes, 36 minutes per game going into this game. Do you think that's going to be kind of something you're going to see most of the season, or does he need to kind of slow down those minutes later on?
You would want your best player to be out there for at least 30 minutes, but in chances where he gets in foul trouble, where it's times where his shot isn't going, who is going to step up for the Governors? You know, Jordan Adams, who was back-to-back freshman of the week in the OVC, he can go and get a bucket for you, but outside of Adams, who else can go and get a bucket for the Governors?
And tonight it's been Paez. It's been Paez and Butler. Those are the two double digits players. Granted, 7 of 8 of Paez's points have been at the foul line, but points are points at the end of the day, as Butler's first free throw shot is good.
He missed that first one, Patty.
Did I say it was good?
You did say it was good.
I sure did. Well, there it is. We'll just kind of move by that like it didn't happen, but rattles home the second one. That one's good. Austin Peay up 20 with under 6 left to go in this one. Austin Peay picked 4th in the OVC poll. Good backdoor cut to Simmons, but it's blocked for the 4th time tonight.
Terry Taylor also had a little help by the backboard as he tried to lay it up. Simmons was going off balance here, as the replay is about to show.
I mentioned Mutombo earlier. I mean, he's given his best impression tonight. 4 blocks, all of them have been with authority. None of them has been tipped or anything like that.
9 total blocks for the Governors here on this evening.
Another one, Taylor and Abayev, they'll split that half and half. We're starting to kind of feel it down low, and it's starting to show as we get another look at that one. And that's Taylor. Abayev didn't get that one at all. Can't get it to go as Applewhite.
Just a blown fans love it. Just a blown layup, an opportunity for Applewhite.
Woodard, a wide open three-pointer. Can't get it. Taylor, the offensive board, and one. And he flexes on the way down.
Terry Taylor here is putting on a clinic here once again in the Dunn Center. Just like Saturday where he dropped 37 and 16 boards, tonight he has 25 and 8. And now he also has an opportunity to add on to that. As you see the replay here on the miss, Terry Taylor just crashing the offensive glass, took that little contact. As earlier he was rocking the baby.
Taylor misses the foul line shot and kicks it back out to Butler. Marcus, I asked you before the broadcast, over under 25 for Taylor, and right now he's right at that 25 mark. Abayev, the second chance points.
And nobody boxed out. Abayev right there, as he had a clear lane to the basket. He could have dunked it himself. That's how much time he could have grabbed the rebound, slow it, took his time and dunked it because nobody was in.
Paez got 12 points. And here's Neal.
Paez doing just a great job. Being aggressive, attacking the basket, forcing the refs to make calls. 10 free throw attempts here on this afternoon.
Really like what I've seen from Neal in this second half. That gives him 7 points on the day. Hinson, a career day for him, 8 points. 2 of 5 from 3. Long three-pointer is no good. They try to fight for the offensive rebound, but it's going to go the other way.
That was a heat check moment by Terry Taylor right there. Pulled up from the top of the key.
Come Saturday night, that was a shot he was hitting with regularity in the second half. Hasn't had that true heat check moment just of yet, but a lot of his work has been down low. He's really kind of exposed that lack of rim protection for the Bulldogs.
One thing that he hasn't done is made a three-pointer this evening, 0 for 2.
Simmons' elbow jumper is good. Swishes it home, and that puts the lead back up to 22 points with under 4 remaining. And we get a foul. And I do believe we're going to have a media timeout. 3:53 remaining in this contest. Austin Peay really showing their dominance here in the second half as the score is 82-60. Stick with us as you're watching live on ESPN Plus. State, we got Tulsa Presbyterian, UNC Asheville, USC Upstate, and College of Charleston on the 21st of December, right before the Christmas break. Paez, he's camped out at the foul line tonight. Gets one more to go.
That's a great word to say because he has been just living at the free throw line.
There it goes. Gives him 14 points, 11 of 12, and he gets a steal. Got cut on the lip early in the first half after he got poked in the eye, and he made those 2 free throws. So shows the talent he's got, and that's just a scrappy kid right there. Plays defense with all his heart, and a three-pointer. Got the bounce, got the shooter's bounce.
Same like Paez, that shot, it hit every part of the rim, but a nice crossover by Simmons, but a good block right there by Evan Hinson. But it's going to stay Bulldogs ball.
2 3-pointers tonight. All season coming into this one, he only had 1. So he loves it.
Breaking the individual records for himself,
right,
as a Governor in his freshman year.
Gives him 17 points off the bench. And Marcus, you were mentioning who's going to help out. And even though he doesn't start, that's one heck of a guy to bring off the bench. Not only defensively, but tonight he's shown he can do it on both ends. Here's Neal with 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Driving inside, a wild shot, but Riley gets the offensive rebound.
Riley was just in the right place at the right time as he snagged that offensive rebound, just put up a soft little 4-footer.
That second chance basket gives him double digits at 10. Sia Conte, deep three-pointer, short. And here comes Neal. Neal on Paez, pushed off. He pushed off. It's going to be an offensive foul. And looking over at Coach Garvin, all he can do is smile. Smile to not give up that second technical as we see here. You just have to agree with him.
It might have been a little bit of acting right there by Carlos Paez as well, but he got that offensive foul called on Neal.
He did get poked in the eye earlier, so that's a little revenge game per se. And here's Adams, checked back in for Austin Peay. Simmons guarding him very well. He poked it away and nearly kept it in, but it goes out of bounds. 11 seconds on the shot clock.
What defense right there by Simmons, forcing Adams to almost make a bad shot and almost have a turnover there.
Woodard checks in for Jordan Adams. After that ball falls out of bounds. Abayev, Woodard, Hinson, DeVault, and Paez for Austin Peay.
And the Bulldogs are now in a shifting zone. And Coach Figure was not happy right there as that shot clock violation because no Governor was looking at the shot clock when it was running down.
Up 25, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to Coach, and he knows just even in these what looks like seemingly pointless games, these are where kind of players step up, and this is how you find yourself back in the starting lineup if you're Paez after a good night. Riley, 2 points there. Efficient night for him, 5 of 7 from the field. He's played well. Applewhite, our player to watch, has 15, but it's been a quiet one. Abayev is poked away, but luckily a foul is called for him. As Coach Figger got off his seat ready to lay into somebody. I'm going to go to the line. We got a 1-and-1 or looks like 2 shots here.
A double bonus now for the Governors, so every time there's going to be a foul, 2 free throws.
That was the 10th foul of the Bulldogs, and Abayev sinks the first. Abayev had a busy summer this year. Played in the Maccabi games this summer and had some monster games. And just the competition in that one, it prepares you for games, maybe not like today, but when we get into conference play.
And when the OVC comes around, it's going to be some battles down low for Abayev against Murray State, against Belmont. Gets somewhat of a standing ovation as he comes off the floor.
Abayev started tonight. He started pretty much every game this season. He's been in the favorites of Coach Figger. And Simmons, 3-pointer, rattles it out. Austin Peay playing the zone there and couldn't shoot out of it.
And it also looks like Terry Taylor will be done for the evening, finishing with 25 points and 8 rebounds.
Without a doubt will be our player of the game. DeVault did it at the end of the first half and now at the end of the second from 3.
And that was actually DeVault's first 2 threes of the season.
Etienne, 3-pointer goes off the mark. Simmons gets the board. Under a minute left to play. Simmons' shot is off the mark and Woodard gets it. And Riley's still fighting till the very end. And we get a substitution here.
Cody Bates checks into the game for the Governors.
Walk-on.
A walk-on for the Governors.
Getting his first minutes of the year. And here's Paez. There'll be one more possession after this one for Austin Peay. They've really taken care of business. Paez nearly got the fancy bucket to go, and we get a foul call.
It was $1 million move, but a 10-cent finish right there by Carlos Paez with the Euro step. Just couldn't get that layup to fall.
So we're going to go to the line as the shot clock is turned off. So after these free throws, likely Austin Peay will dribble it out. And while we got a chance, Marcus, South Carolina State really fought from the really beginning of this game, but the dominance of Austin Peay showed, and this is a good one to go into the break.
For Austin Peay, yes, for South Carolina State, no. You have to travel to Tulsa now, going away from home, far from home in Oklahoma. And just another really bad second half. You let it get away early in that second half, not staying poised as like was one of the key to the games. You had a few runs, but you still didn't play a complete 40 minutes of basketball.
Omar Krosky checks in for South Carolina State, the freshman out of Sumter, South Carolina. They're just going to dribble this one out. Crowd wants Cody to get the ball, but that'll do it. Austin Peay winning 92-66 as both teams shake hands. A really good game for South Carolina State. What can they take out of this? He's got, and that's out of this